Okay, I'm recording. Right, morning guys. So I think I'll be video 62. Man, I got so many videos to put up. Man, I'm still waiting for a freaking router to turn up. Anyway, um, the last couple of videos, some of the quality might be a bit average because unfortunately, what happened was obviously when I've been recording, I think it's my facing away camera, not the one that they're facing towards you on your phone. Must have bumped the settings and it was only at 720, whereas the other footage is at 1080. So yeah, I've had to stretch it. I could have shrunk the other stuff down to 720, but I just stretched it out. Some of the footage is like true 1080 and some of it's 720. So it is what it is. I thought about maybe pulling it different apart, but I think I'm going to have to maybe quick talk to Dad and see if there's a puller to pull these wheels off. Because, well, I don't know. Because they're on a tapered spline and the nuts, I'll give them, because it's been on there so long and it's been out in the weather and the nut hasn't been on there and probably the rust has got into the taper. I don't know how easy those wheels are to get off, but I might give them a bash. I have been spraying them. I'll give them a bash with a hammer shortly, just see if they'll come off. Yeah, otherwise I'll just try and carry on with something else. In the meantime, I still haven't had any info come from Australia, unfortunately. But that's, he's got to have time to be able to sit down and do it for me. So like that, he might have to, when he's got a spare Saturday or Sunday or something like that for a few hours, he might better have a chance and have a measure up. So yeah, like it's not one of those things you can just go out there and do in 10 minutes. It's probably going to take a couple of hours to get a chance to do that and take photos and whatever and get it all together. So I kind of understand, but yeah, it's like that. Hopefully sooner than later. So I'll have a wee play with his diff. If I don't have any luck with that, I don't know if the owner's bought me any stuff yet. I don't think so. I'll have a wee wander around because I don't think he's got anything here yet. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know what he's been up to recently. I haven't seen him for a few days, so sometimes, he can be busy doing other things and hasn't had a chance to get into town to get me stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I guess the other thing is I can start playing around with some of the linkages and stuff from the front of the motor. I could strip the front end stuff off, which I could probably come back and drill the holes in those side valances, which I was going to do there ages ago. It's sort of, one thing keeps leading to another, and then you end up doing a big circle back to it again. So yeah, I might better drill those holes and get some of that stuff sorted out before I pull the front metal work off. Just give me easier access into the motor. Saves leaning over everything. And if you don't have to lean over everything, why would you? It's not as though it comes apart in a couple of minutes with some bolts. So yeah, that might be that. I'll have a play with this wheel first, see if I can shock them off. Otherwise I might have to get a puller. They may need a little bit of heat too. But I think I might be freaking out of acetylene. I think he really needs to use some of your regulators. They're not sealing 100%. I've got a funny suspicion, and yeah, when we're using it, might be leaking. I think it's mainly the oxygen, but I've done a heap of shrinking on that back guard, so they're not very big bottles either, so they don't last terribly long, which is a bit of a pain. Sometimes with the big bottles, but they're bloody expensive, It's like, yeah, fork out and get the big bottles, but then you got to get a trolley to put them on and all those extra things. So, but anyway, so yeah, I think I'm out of acetylene. I'm not sure. This is a pain. Yeah. So we'll try the wheels, see if we can get them off. then I can maybe strip that diff down a bit more. But that's probably not going to hurt for me, just to keep soaking the bolts with CRC or some penetrating oil for a couple of days yet, just to help free them up. I've done that before on stuff that I've known I've had to take apart, and I've just kept soaking it and soaking it. I probably should have been soaking it before this, but I just, you sort of get fixated on something else and you forget about it until you think, oh shit, I need to pull that apart shortly to give me something else to do while you're waiting on stuff. But yeah, I've soaked stuff for a couple of weeks, keep spraying it, and then when the opportunity arises to actually physically pull it apart, the bolts nuts come undone without any problems. So yeah, and I've seen the other guys pull apart the same machine beside me and never sprayed anything, and they fought for hours before I pulled it apart in minutes. So you go figure, you know. So yeah, anyway, I'll give these a quick spray now, even though I've just done it. Doing that, and all around that diff, bits and pieces. Yeah, just anything to make life easier when it comes to this old stuff. So you just don't know. You know, it might just come apart, but it might not either. Yeah, because I think there might be a special puller that goes on these wheels to get them apart. And yeah, I doubt if we've got the tool to do it. It would have been originally with the car, but I don't know whether he's got any of those bits left. You know, it's one of those things that could have been broken and smashed over time, and they've been lost and whatever. You know, amongst these cars, even though he's got sort of like 2 or 3 of them, well, he's probably got 3 in bits. You know, but yeah. So I'll have a quick play for see if I can give the wheel a bash and see if it'll move. And yeah, we'll, if not, we'll tackle something else. Because I'm sort of paid the butt waiting for stuff. If I could just go and get the stuff myself, but it's not my money, and he will go to where he thinks he can get the best deal for bits and pieces, and it's just, sometimes it's a waiting game. But it's like that with anything, eh? Anyway, we'll have a play. You don't think they're going to come off without a puller and heat? At least that one turns, kind of. Right. Yep, definitely out of acetylene. Damn it. But yeah, like these regulators are pretty old. I wonder if he needs to replace them. I don't know. Just wouldn't have thought we should have gone through that much. The ends look a bit old and doggy. But I wouldn't imagine the regulators would be very cheap. So anyway, since you can't do that, because I really need heat to get those wheels off, because I've got to pull the axles first to try and get the centre of the diff out. So yeah, I guess I'll mark some holes down in there and open them out, and then yeah, and then start playing with some of the linkages and stuff around this engine. Get some of that stuff worked out. But I can at least pull the grill shell and all that sort of crap out of the road for a start off, and the hood, the sides and stuff, get them out of the road. They don't need to be there while I'm doing these pieces, and obviously mark off what I can cut off that doesn't need to be there. So yeah, that's one more step, I guess. Righty. Right, so I'm doing the other guard as well, or fender. These two holes that weren't even here, so I just roughly laid them out and done them. And I'm just opening these two holes up and then just let a bolt, well, clamp this back on and mark the holes for the other side. And we can finish doing the other side. The other thing I might do today too, with just doing little jobs, just while I think about it, to try and remind myself, is this broken off screw in here. I'm just not sure if that's on the other side or not. Have we look? No, it's almost like there might have been a maybe a mirror or something on there, maybe. I don't know. So we'll have a go at see if we can get that out later too, because there's holes down here as well. So yeah, I need to get that out. I'm not sure what it was for, but we'll fix it anyway. We'll try and let's see if I can get like a little tiny washer or something like that, and then weld the washer to that without welding it to the steel or the cast, and then weld a nut to the washer, hopefully. I know it works in aluminium, but I'm just not sure about this bit. It's such a small hole, like I don't want to damage it trying to drill it out. So we'll try that trick, see if it works. Push the button this time and we'll do this again. So you can see it misses here with the holes. So what I need to do anyway, I need to double it up here, like in behind, just to give it some guts. So it's just not this thin sheet metal, we'll double it up. So I can add some material here when we do that. We'll cut this excess off, and then I'll put the double up in behind, and then we'll drill these holes. I think that's probably the best way to do it. All I'll do is, when I double it up, obviously when we take it off to do the final bottle work, I'll put some more welds in it, but in the meantime I can just drill some little holes in here and spot weld it in, if you know what I mean. And then when we come back, when we pull it all off, we can put some tacks, maybe along the edges and bits and pieces, but we'll just spot weld it in there in the meantime. So I'll grab a grinder, we'll cut that off, I'll find something in here to make a pattern, and we'll just do the same thing. I'll just spray a bit of, yeah, I'll just draw around it, and because I don't want to spray over it, otherwise I'll lose my holes. And yeah, we'll go from there. And then we'll do the same on the other side, I guess. So I might just put the flat wheel on the English wheel and just roll it through here just to stretch just that side, and hopefully, you know, maybe, I don't know. We'll see if it works anyway. It's not right. It's right, but it's not right. So it's cool, we've got the extra bit of material there, which hopefully will be enough. And I need to cut a bit off here because it just obviously didn't, that bit of cardboard wasn't quite sitting around in the right direction. That's the unfortunate piece of sitting there with one piece of material. Yeah. That's all good. Still plenty there to, I could probably even cut a lot of that off so you'll never know. But anyway. Right, so we play over here. So I got that piece fitting fairly good. I'll trim any excess off when I've got it welded on, which will just be that very bottom back edge. I think everything else will be right, and then we can true the outside edge up. But I'll drill a shitload of small holes in there so I can spot weld out along with the MIG. And then, if need be, later on, we can do some tacks from the back or something like that against the thing. But I think if we do a shitload around there and maybe just the odd tack around the edge, actually on the main edge, it should be, I don't think it's going to ever go anywhere, and it'll be plenty strong enough, and but it'll give that plenty of guts so it's not going to rip the bolts out of there. Two layers is going to be better than one. So I'll start drawing some holes. There's a shitload of them. I'm going to do them every inch or so in 2 rows, just to make sure it's got plenty of guts. And yeah. But if you had a spot weld, you just go along and spot weld them all on. But I think that'll work perfect. And and then we'll repeat it on the other side. At least then that's going to be finished. And eventually I'll do the same thing with the back edge too, where it's never been finished off. I'll put a double piece in there eventually too, but that's for another day. going, guys? So it looks like I'm running out of storage on my phone. I need to get some footage off here. So I've welded that all, spot welded that all on. I've welded a few spots across the front edge. I'm just adding this bit of extra metal in there now to fill where the outer piece was short. And obviously I put that brace underneath, so I've just, the piece that I cut off actually here, it was about the right shape. I just trimmed it up a little bit to fit, and then I'll go around there with a cutting wheel, and then I'll just tack along the edge to help clean it up and tidy it up and grind it off, and nobody will even know. I'll have to lay the fender back over here to pick up the holes where to drill them again. But yeah, that's about that. So yeah, I'm about finished here for the day. I've just got a little bit of clean up to do, and I'll try and trim that off before I go, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll get the rest of it finished and I'll get some footage off my phone. Just, yeah, I've got a bit of footage on there that I haven't had a chance to get off, so yeah, hopefully yeah, that'll do. Then I'll hopefully do the same on the other side tomorrow. It's all cleaned up and ground up. I've still got to tack the edge with the welder, but that'll be tomorrow now. But yeah, like it needs a little dress up and all that sort of stuff, but all that you're never going to see, and by the time I do the whole thing with skimmer body filler and a high build, you'll never see anything else, and it's all going to be under the fender anyway, so it's not going to matter much. You might see a little bit of this, but it'll be all body work, so by the time I finish, nobody even know. And then it's got that nice big thick brace in there. It's probably overkill wide, but at least it's going to give it plenty of strength. So see you tomorrow. Righty guys, welcome back again. So I welded that up yesterday. Welded it modified, shortened up that panel down in front of the valance, side valance, what do you want to call it. So yeah, now I need to probably just slip that guard back on, pick up those holes down here, or I add a bit extra material. So I need to pick up these holes again and drill them and open them out, and then I'll do the same on the other side and hopefully get that done today. So yeah, anyway, we'll get on with it, because I won't waffle too much. 15 minutes wrestling that guard on. Lovely. Righty, so I've got those spots repainted so I can see where they're meant to be. I bolted it, one bolt through here and the ones over here, and then obviously clamped it with all the clamps, so it should be pretty good. So yeah, I'll drill those holes now, and then we should be able to, well, that guard will bolt on properly, like it should do. So in the end, holding that guard on, or fender, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 main bolts plus the ones between the headlights. So there's actually a lot of bolts hold that thing on. But anyway, so yeah, I'll drill those holes now, and yeah, we'll start doing the other side, I guess. So yeah. So again, around here we missed by a country bloody mile. We've cut too much off it. A shitload off it this time. That's cool. We'll fix it. I'll see if my pattern works the other side. Should be close enough. Make it work. So it's even about too short here too, need to leave it more on it. Cut it too short, to be honest. So it needs to be about there somewhere. Just a little extra guts in it. So it'll work. It's cut way too short, and I have to add a whole, I have to add a little strip all the way around. That's why you don't cut shit too short for a start off. Better off being way too long and cut it off later. Better than too short. Okay. So it's almost lunchtime. I'll get this tacked on in a few spots before I bugger off. Yeah, might be better. Maybe. After lunch. So what I'm up to today, I'm doing the other side of this. So I've finished the other side now, and I've started this side. Obviously I've got to add a heap of material on there because it's short for where the guard bolts on around there in places. So I'll add some extra material. Some of that will come off, and I'll show you the other side before I bugger off for lunch. This is all done, drilled, ground back, and ready to go for next stages. So that's cool, so that's all sorted. So yeah, I've still got to do the backs of them, but that'll be, you know, a wee bit further down the track. Hopefully we can get into the converter prop shortly. Where are we at? So I finally got fast internet at home. Went home at lunchtime and got that sorted out. I actually uploaded all my videos before I come back. Yeah, what a difference. Wow. Yeah, so 100 megabytes per second up and down. I was doing 103 down and 104 up. It was awesome. So yeah, I think I had 8 videos there sitting there ready to go. I set the first one on just public to load and all the rest on private, and boom, and they were all up. And I think I did the first one by itself just to see how quick it was. It was less than 10 minutes for whatever the length of the video is, 30 odd minutes, whatever it is, the number 55. Then all the rest is sitting there waiting, so that's cool. So anything else now that I've got to edit, you know, I can just, it'll upload in just a few minutes, and I can sit it there on private until I'm ready to put it to public. So anyway, I'll quickly turn the camera around and I'll show you what I've been up to. So I've got all this welded on, ground off, put the extra piece of metal on there. I'll just have to tack the edges just in a few spots just to make sure that that little strip that's around the edge doesn't separate, but it shouldn't. But yeah, I'll just put a few tacks every inch or two around there, just just do a little stitch on there, and then just clean it up. Obviously, it needs final, but what I'll do is I'll get that front fender back on, remark the holes to drill in there to put the bolts in, and then yeah, we'll go from there. If I get that done in reasonable time, I'll sort of have a see what the time is. I might come back and do another couple of hours tomorrow. I'll just see. I'll get that fender on and then I'll see how I feel, because I wouldn't mind going home just sitting back and relaxing for a bit, since it is Saturday. I don't mind spending a few hours down here, but yeah, it's cool. Totally awesome. I couldn't believe how fast the internet was. Like, I couldn't go to the Premiere, like the top of the range. There is one step above the plan that I've got, but its upload is slower, but the download is way faster. But yeah, I think if I spend an extra $20 a month, I can go to, I think it's between 400 and 500 megabytes upload. So it's 5 times or 4 to 5 times faster than what I've got. But man, it only takes me 10 minutes, if that, to upload a 30 or 40 minute video. So I'm happy with that. So we'll just see how it goes, but there is that option there to upload. And I was actually uploading the other videos, and my stepson, he was downloading some stuff onto his PlayStation, like some game updates. He was downloading that at the same time as I was uploading, and yeah, it was incredible. I could still do a speed test while I was setting up Netflix and everything back on the TV to that Wi-Fi router, and I could still get more than 50 megabytes per second upload and download while all that other shit was going on. So yeah, more than happy. So it's cool. At least now I don't have to fight with that. I just need to get a faster CPU so I can render things quicker now. So I just have to sit around and wait, and I can just quickly re-watch the footage and then slam them up. But yeah, that's the next thing, so I can render them in just a couple of minutes instead of... They're not too bad. Like, it's a bit longer than it's normally a bit longer than what the video is now. So if it's a 30-minute video, it might take 40 minutes to render it. But that's only in 1080p. I'd like to go to 4K. But yeah, even the upload on that's only going to be, it might be 30 minutes or something like that for a decent length video. Whereas before, it just would have been ridiculous. Would have been a couple of days. But it's just stupid. But yeah, I can smash, as I said, like 6 or 7 videos up in less than an hour, no problems at all. Yeah, all at once. So yeah, it didn't even phase it. So it's cool. Right, so we'll get this fender on, and yeah, we'll go from there. Righty, so that's that done. The only thing I really have to do now is obviously refit everything and just make sure it all fits. I'm pretty sure it will. Might do that tomorrow. So yeah, it's cool. It's good to have those both done at the front anyway, all trimmed up, ground back. Like I said, I need to do a few little tack welds across the front edge. And I think I've done this one, so I've tack welded all them. So, but that's pretty much that for that bit. So it's amazing how long that takes. Like that took me about, it's probably a good 3.5 hours a side by the time you cut the pieces out. Or, test fit everything, mark everything, work out what you want, add the little bit of material on that they cut off, that they cut too short, and weld it on, grind it off, drill the holes, die grind them out, clean it all up. So yeah, it takes a while. People just don't realise how long it takes to do just a small bit of metal work like that, You go, what did you do today? Oh, that and that. What, that took you 8 hours? Well, yeah, pretty much. It's probably what those two took me. Probably 8 hours work. That's a full day's work between those two front pieces. So yeah, no wonder restoration work costs, people just don't realise what it takes to do it. If you're going to make a whole new piece like that, you've got to put all those strengthening pieces in front and back. So there's 2 days work. There's probably, I don't know, by the time you measure those pieces up, roll them, get them fitting properly originally, there's probably another half a day's work and just, marking all that out and laying it all out and just, I know that's simple enough, but it's probably a good half a day and just marking those 2 pieces out and getting them to that point, and just notching them out, and then another 2 days putting the pieces on there. So, you're 2.5 days just making those pieces. So, easy. So, time runs away pretty quick. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, so we'll catch you in the next one, which will be, 62, I think this one is, so the end of this one, so it'll be 63 for the next one. Also got to do a wee video. Iron Horse Garage gave me and a few others a call out on to do a video on the ones that got away. So have a wee look for that. That might be out before this goes up, because I've got all those videos that I've just banged up because I've just got my fast internet. So yeah, that would have been, you probably would have seen it already, but yeah, I only just done it, if you know what I mean, because I'm just going to do that now before I bugger off. See you later, guys. Cheers.